All right, get this going. And so today we're going to be talking about workflows and automations. All right, so last week was all about contacts. This week we're going to be talking all about workflows and automations. First, I want to talk about the mindset of a workflow. Why do you need a workflow? When do you need a workflow? Why are they important? So the heart and soul of Genie Rocket is a CRM, which is a contact relationship manager. Can you run ads from there? Yes. Can you launch web pages from there? Yes. You can do a lot. Can you manage your social media from there? Yes. But we want to start at the very basics of contact management because without contacts, none of that matters. If you don't have contacts, you don't have anyone to send emails to, you don't have anyone to send text to. Um, it doesn't really serve as big of a purpose as when you get your contacts in place. The next piece is automations with workflows. And why that is so important is when you do have contacts in here and you have a message that you want to share, with workflows, you can start to automate a lot of the process. Because normally when we think about tools or software, we think about the time, right? Like I don't have the time to invest into learning this tool, building this thing, and then continuing to manage that thing. What you want is a tool that can actually free up your time. So when you start to leverage workflows, you free up your time, and they're not as complicated as they sound. I remember a few years ago when I started experimenting with workflows, I would write emails. I would put them all in workflows. I would stack them with an email and a text. And I would be with my family. I specifically remember being at the park with my kids, younger kids, and I would start to hear my phone buzz. And it was people responding to workflows and even buying things from me. And I wasn't having to do anything. That's because I did the work beforehand. I set up the workflows and people were automatically coming into those, automatically taking action. It was making me money. It was getting form fills. It was getting responses. And I was actually able to be present with my kids, except for the occasional glimpse down at my phone or my watch just to see the results coming through. But that's made all possible through workflows, and you have access to that in Genie Rocket. And the most common use for workflows is let's think about it if you have a campaign you're trying to build. Meaning, let's say you have uh, a special on a product or promo. Let's say you're a Drip Bar and you're doing free B12 shots and $20 off vitamin IV drip. And it's only good for this weekend. Do you want to just send one email or one text about that? No, you want to send multiple emails, multiple texts, multiple reminders, and you don't want to be just locked behind your computer or have your front desk locked behind their computer just sending these messages out. But what if you could create, let's say, 5 emails and 5 texts that go out over 3 or 4 days that are constantly reminding people of this offer and trying to get them to book and sign up? With Genie Rocket, you can literally do that. You can say, send an email and text on day one, wait a day, then we're going to send an email and text on day two, wait another day, send an email and text in a voicemail on day three. And we can even say if they respond to any of those, stop all further communication, or we can try to get them to book an appointment or buy something online. And that also can stop the automation. But you just sitting down and setting that up once and even using Chat GPT or the built-in AI to help you come up with the messages, you could literally spend 30 minutes and have a whole week's worth of content ready to go. And then you literally just push a button and enroll people into that workflow. So I'm going to share my screen here and show you how to do that. If you've never done a workflow before, it's a lot easier than it sounds. Guys, you don't have to be a computer science, IT, marketing wizard. Um, I'm not. And all you need to do is just play around with this and watch what I do. And I'm going to show you step by step how you can do this for yourself. All right, so let me pull up a sample account here. Let's do an example here. And I'm going to share my screen. And guys, here on out, I'm going to start making these 30 minutes instead of an hour so you can have more time back in your day. I'm starting to do some like bigger, higher end coaching, that's going to be for an hour. So if you want larger coaching sessions with a smaller group, that's more specific. That's coming soon, but these are going to be 30 minutes so I can give you more time back in your day and start going to implement these things I'm going to show you. Okay, so inside of GeniaRocket, here we are. You're in here. We're going to click on automations. And then inside of automations is you are going to have your workflow list. If you're a hyper-organized person, you can create folders here, or you can just go create new workflow and you can make a big mess. I've got a big mess on mine. So whenever you create a workflow, I'll kind of show you what this one looks like. Your finished product could look something like this. Pretty linear, pretty easy. The first thing you'll notice in a workflow, actually up here top, is you want to give it a name. So you're just going to click in here and give your workflow a name. The second thing you're going to look at is the trigger. The trigger means what happens to trigger the workflow. Pretty self-explanatory, right? So you could have triggers for things like a Facebook lead form is submit. If you're running Facebook lead form ads, you can make it where anytime that somebody fills out that form, all these things are going to happen. And you can even do one of my favorite things is an SMS AI booking bot. We did this for ourselves. I'll never forget. I was at Disney World with my family right around Christmas time, and we were spending, I think, like $50 to $100 a day on Facebook ads. And every day, even on Christmas Day, I would get on average 10 to 12 new leads. And every time a lead came in, they would come through a workflow like this. They would fill out the form. They would then get a text message. And that text message, because it was from GeniaRocket, we could pull in the information they filled out on the form. And if you didn't know you could do that, anywhere you see this little tag right here for custom values, hover over contact, and you can see all the data that you can pull in, including custom fields, right? So if you've got very specific questions someone's answering on a form, you can call that information here. So coolest thing ever, guys. Check this out. So someone would fill out the Facebook lead form that say, hey, my name is Joe. I work for Joe's Brick Company. My goal, or I currently get 5 leads a month. I'd love to get 50 leads a month. Boom, fill out the form. They would get a text message from this workflow after they filled out Facebook, a text message saying, hey, Joe, thanks so much for reaching out via Facebook. We'd love to hear more about your Joe's Brick Company. I can see you're currently getting 5 leads. You would love to get to 50 leads. Let's chat about how to make that a reality. And then that would be the end of the first text. Immediately, a next text would go out, and it would say, hey, Joe, what day of the week works best for you for a quick chat? That's it. And then inside of GeniaRocket, guys, pay attention. This is gold. We used the booking bot. If I can type, here we go. The Eliza AI appointment booking bot, right? So here we choose the calendar we're going to be linked to. We're going to let it process for an hour. And this is where all we type was what day of the week works best for you, first name. And 50% of all of our leads that came in from Facebook and Instagram would book an appointment, 50%. And so we would have a booked calendar almost every day of the week because we would get, if you do the math, say we get on average 12 leads a day, that's 6 booked appointments. So every day we'd have 6 booked appointments, 6 booked appointments. These were people that told us exactly what their problem was, what their goal was. They realized the gap, and then we got to hop on and help them solve that problem. And that's how we grew pretty fast. And so the whole behind the scenes magic of how we did that was right here in a workflow builder. We had Facebook lead form submitted. We chose our Facebook page is blank. The form they fill out is blank. We always like to give people a tag. So if you're even manually enrolling people in a workflow, this is going to give them a tag. So then you can later go and recall that. So if we want to say, let's send everyone a text with the tag of Facebook lead or with the tag of summer campaign XYZ, you give them a tag so you can find them later. So we give them a tag here, we give them a tag here. We update them in the sales pipeline. Guys, if you're not using pipelines, pipelines are the greatest way to visualize where your money is. Where's your money? Who's got your money? You see that visually in the sales pipeline. So this adds them into your sales pipeline. If you know what your average deal size is, you can put that in opportunity value. There's no stronger mechanism than seeing how much money is tied up in your pipeline to get you to take action. If you pulled up your computer right now and you saw you had, let's say, $230,000 in your inbound lead pipeline, tell me that's not going to motivate you to take some action, to make some calls, to send some texts, to do some emails, right? Unlock that $230,000 as opposed to, hey, I've got a handful of leads, right? Your first phase is I've got a handful of leads. Your second way of thinking is I've got 85 leads, and the right way of approaching it is I've got $120,000 worth of potential revenue, and it's stuck. And your goal is to get that unstuck. That's why you want to use the sales opportunity, sales pipeline, and we'll talk about that next week. So we're going to create or update the opportunity in this pipeline. So we get to choose the sales pipeline, choose the stage we want it to go in. They automatically pop in there. Then this right here, guys, it's super easy. Start sending emails, start sending texts, and keep growing this thing. What I've done sometimes, here's a pro tip, is if this is a long form nurture, meaning let's say they don't buy right away, it's taking them a while, they need lots of nurturing, you can keep this going. And I've done this before. I will actually add, this is kind of hacking the system, a wait step. And I'll be like, all right, what can I do? Days, 365 days. We're just going to wait. So I'll add this wait step, and this just buys me time. Everyone's still in this workflow. So say we have like 50 people right here just waiting, and then I can come in here the next day and be like, I'm going to go ahead and copy this email down here. I'm going to write a new email. I want all these same people to get that in the workflow. And then I'm going to copy this wait step and put it down here instead. And then once you have people right here, you can actually click a button and say, go ahead and squeeze everyone out of here. Squeeze these 50 people out of Wait 365 and pop them to the next email. And then they'll go to the next wait step. And then you write another email. Obviously, I wouldn't get in the habit of doing that. But if you do it at least, let's say you have like 5 days worth of emails and you just get in the habit of like every Friday, I'm going to write 5 more emails. I'm going to put that Wait 365 at the bottom of them. So by the time they're done with those 5 emails, that'll give me time to write 5 more. And you want to be a nurturing machine, because when you get a lead, unless they just say, go pound sand, lose my number, I don't want to do business with you, you should always be not selling directly to them, but adding value to them, because who knows, at the right time, when they are ready to make a purchasing decision, you want to be the ones that they think of. If their friend needs something that you have and they're asking, hey, do you know anyone that solves problem X or where I can get this? You want to be the one that is top of mind because you've added so much value. And this, in these workflows, is where you can add that value. This isn't just a bunch of sales emails. We've all gotten those. They all suck. We can smell them from a mile away, right? These aren't just cold sell the emails, guys. These people, if you do this process with like ads, for example, have raised their hand saying, I've got a problem, and you just have to prove that you can solve it. And my question to you is, why not you? Why can't you solve their problem and earn that money? Why not you? So unless they say stop, unless they say, I don't want this anymore, continue to build out this nurturing list and continue to build out those relationships so they are ready. So that is kind of 101 of workflows. There's one other piece I want to show you as it relates to workflows here. And this is kind of it's called conditional logic. And don't let that intimidate you. It's a lot easier than I'm making it sound, I promise. So let's say we just do, this is one of my favorite campaigns. I'm sorry, I'm in my Jeep, guys. I've just been running around today, but I still wanted to come and add value. So you get to see the inside of my Jeep. All right, so let's say we want to send a text to everyone and we want them to reply. And if they reply with a certain word, we want to get alerted, or we want our sales team to get alerted, because that means we're probably one step closer to a sale. So this is a very specific message framework. I'm looking for 10 people who are ready to lose 20 pounds in the next 60 days and are serious to get results. If that's you, just respond, let's go. Or let's make it easier, just respond, yes. Okay. So imagine if you are a, say, like a weight loss expert, or you're trying to sell a weight loss program, you send this message out to your entire list. I'm looking for 10 people who are ready to lose 20 pounds in the next 60 days and are serious to get results. If that's you, just respond yes. Do you think you're going to get people that respond that are just kind of like on the fence about losing weight, that aren't taking that seriously? No, you're going to get the people that are ready to do whatever it takes. Because if they can visualize in 60 days being 20 pounds lighter, they will give up, pay for whatever that looks like if you can help them get that result. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to call this test. We're going to call this SMS hands up campaign. And I get that not all of you are in health and wellness space, so you're smart. Just think about what this could be for your product, your program, your service. And so now we've got this initial text that we can send to everyone in our list if we wanted to. We're then going to put in a wait step. And this is where you just need to pay attention. It's not hard. You just got to know what to do. We're going to say wait for contact reply to the hands up campaign. Okay. And then we're going to do a timeout. Let's maybe say for 6 hours. That just means after 6 hours, they'll move on to the next step. Okay. So boom, here we are. They get dropped in. They get a text message. It's going to wait for them to reply. When they do reply, they go over to this left branch. And check this out. Again, this is not complicated. You just have to follow my instructions. We're going to choose the if else branch, and we're going to have a yes branch. And then we say, if the contact replied message is, or actually, let's do this, contains yes, right? We ask them to say yes if they want it. If it contains yes, and then actually we just need that, save, and check out what we did here. So text message, wait for them to respond. If they do respond and they respond with the word yes, we can automatically send the next text message back and say, congrats. Contact first name. Let's get you 20 pounds lighter in 60 days. We could do like fill out the form, or someone from my team will be calling you. Someone from my team will be calling shortly to help close that deal. Boom, right? So that's the steps. And then from here, you could do a ringless voicemail drop. You can add a task to your team member to follow up. You can have it alert your team member, say, call this person immediately and get their card information. They're ready to go. And then if there's a no response here, we can just copy this over, rewrite this, and say, hey, just wanted to make sure you got my last message, right? So And I would actually copy this up here too. Okay. So you can fully build this out, guys, and say, I'm going to send this one simple text message. And then we have all these conditions automatically built out. They reply to that message and they say yes. They get the confirmation. Congrats, someone from our team will call you. They respond to that message and they don't say yes. They say something else. Um, and I'm not going to build this thing up, but that's where you can type in whatever you want here. Maybe they didn't say no. Maybe they said, hey, can I get more information? Maybe make something more general here, but you're just kind of closing the loop on they still replied, but what are we going to say next? And then if they get that text message and it goes 6 hours and they have not replied to that text message, it's going to go over here in this bucket. Hey, just wanted to make sure you got my last message. And again, you can build this thing out. And if you want to go real crazy, you can actually use AI to respond to it. So check this out. We're going to do conversation AI. We are going to say, it's going to start with a question. Do you have any questions on the weight loss program? Okay, the channel, we're going to say it's going to be over SMS. And we are going to see if there's anything else we can do here. Yeah, just save this. And if you've trained the bot on your business, and that's through the conversational AI tab, even if it has like a link to your website, it's going to come in here and AI is going to start pulling from your Google Doc or pulling from your website and helping them answer questions about this specific program. Does this take work to set up? A little bit. I mean, you saw how much I got done in less than 30 minutes of building this out from zero, and I'm fast. So if you gave yourself an hour or less, you can build out a beautiful campaign like this. I remember we were working with a roofing company, and they just launched a brand new fencing product, and we did this exact same campaign. They said, hey, we've got all of these past customers. We want to announce to them that we are now doing fencing. All they know us for is roofing. So they were in Genie Rocket. We got their full list. We created a campaign like this. It literally said something along the lines of, hey, this is blank roofing construction company. We're now doing fencing. Do you have any, fence needs you'd like to discuss? Just respond yes, just like this. We sent it out to the list, and I kid you not, within minutes, we had like 4, 5, 6, 7 people respond back and say yes. And they got to follow up with those people real time with calls, get booked appointments, make deals. And it was just from a few minutes of setting up a workflow in Genie Rocket to get people to raise their hands. Why this is so effective, why this works so well is two reasons. Reason number one, it is all through text. We're not sending an email. We're not doing a call that scares people. It is a mechanism that gets a 99% open rate, and most people respond within the first 3 minutes. It's going to give you the biggest leverage. Just don't overuse it. If you send text every day and they're poorly constructed and they do not add value, people will say stop and you will not be able to text them anymore. So treat this with great respect. Number two reason why this works is because you are adding urgency and scarcity with an offer. So the framework that I showed you, you need to use that same framework. We need X amount of people looking to get X amount of results in X amount of time. Just respond yes if you're interested. We're not having them go to a website. We're not having them watch a video. We're not having them fill out a contact form. We're having them respond back in a text with one word to show their interest. We are removing all barriers and we're trying to create the easiest way possible for them to say yes for them to move forward, and you do all the hard work, right? Because guess what, guys? If you got 10, 20, 30, 40 people say yes, that gives you 10, 20, 30, 40 people to call and to have a real conversation with that is already expecting your call. They've already committed to the result. You just have to get their information. Say, hey, this is the best example of like assuming the close. Hey, I just got your text message. I'm so excited to get you enrolled in our program to help you lose 20 pounds in 60 days. Um, we are going to be absolutely here for your success. Here's how the program works. It's a one-time payment of X. I'm going to collect it over the phone today so we can get you started. And then we have our kickoff call tomorrow at 10. Are you able to make that call? You see what I did there? We're transferring the energy away from the investment and into the next step. They've already committed to what they want. Now you get to make it easy for them to make that commitment come true. Make it true for themselves. What you do not want to say, and this is a little bit of sales coaching here, is, hey, so it is, you know, $400 to get started. Is that okay? Is that going to work? Is that going to work for you? Right? Don't give them a reason, because when you come across as unconfident and you're asking if it's okay, that shows that you don't have confidence in your product, service, or solution. When you come across as, hey, we are going to make this work for you. It's a one-time investment of $999, and we have our kickoff meeting on Monday, and we're going to celebrate you at the end of that process, and imagine how great you're going to feel. It's going to be incredible. Let me go ahead and get your card information. We'll get you set up. If you can't make the first call, we'll send you the replay, but hope you can be there. Which card would you like to put this on? Well, man, I really don't know if I can afford that. That is a lot of money. Hey, I completely understand. We've actually had a lot of people say that. I don't disagree with you. That is a lot of money, but I think what you're getting in exchange for that feels like the value is there. What have you tried in the past, and has that worked for you? No? Okay. So let's say you don't do this. What's your plan moving forward? What are you going to do? 6 months from now, how's it going to feel if you don't hit that goal and you've got to spend more money and try something else, right? And guys, these are all, kind of basic sales 101, but I want to help you guys win. And I think when you do things like this, you've got to be prepared to have those conversations. It's easy to come up with really cute and clever messages and get responses back. But if you've got absolute conviction for your product and service, and you believe it can help people, and you've been able to get them to articulate what the problem is, and you're bringing them a solution, why not you? Why not you? If you have the solution to their problem and you're confident in it, then you should come with confidence and with boldness asking for the sale. And I went through some sales coaching yesterday. I want to share one more thing with you, and then we'll close up. But this is really valuable. And this is, gosh, worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's just this one thing. If you don't take anything else from this, yes, this is Genie Rocket training. Yes, this is tool training. But unless you possess the soft skills too of communication and negotiation and sales, you can have all the leads in the world. Don't close any, and you're not going to get any further along. So whenever you're sending, if you've got a professional service and you send out contracts or proposals, the story that I heard yesterday was from a roofing company, and they would get, I forget how many numbers of commitments every day. They'd send out all these door knockers. They'd go in and they would get signatures on a contract for roof installs, and 50% of them would cancel after they made the sign on the contract. 50% of them would cancel. The one thing that changed that took that 50% to, I believe it was 11 or 12% cancellation, significant less cancellations, was the language that they used whenever they got to the signing the contract. So pay attention here, because this is really important. Instead of them saying, can I get your signature on this contract? They would say, hey, I just need your signature to authorize the agreement. That changed the game from a 50% cancellation to an 11 or 12% cancellation was just in that one small change of language. Authorize the agreement is stronger than sign the contract. Authorize the agreement. Can I get you to authorize this agreement so we can begin the work? As opposed to, I just need your signature on this contract. So if you're out there and you're doing contracts, try that language and just see the results. See if it changes for you. All right, guys, well, we are 30 minutes in. This has been Rocket Fuel Weekly. This is the weekly coaching. Next week, we are going to be, I think I'm going to be in town. I know we've got Easter weekend. I'm going to be in Tampa, Florida for my daughter's national cheer competition. So I will let you know if we need to reschedule or not. But either way, the next session we do is going to be, what did I tell you guys that was going to be on? We went through contacts, we did workflows. I think it's going to be on some of the conversation AI. So how to actually train your AI bots in Genie Rocket to know about your business, how it can crawl and read your websites, how it can crawl and read specific Google Docs or documents. And so you can have a bot that, what in the world can a bot do? Why would you need a bot? They can answer your text messages. They can answer your phone calls. They can respond to Google reviews. They can respond to Facebook and Instagram DMs. They can route calls. They can take a lot of responsibility. And is it worth it? You tell me. Do you want to have someone answering your calls 24/7? That sounds pretty much like a real person that can answer 90% of their questions. And if it's a sales question, it knows where to take them. If it's a customer support question, it knows where to take them. If it's a general, like what time do you close question, it can actually answer them. And it sends you the full entire transcript of the whole conversation as soon as it's done. That's pretty powerful. I've had AI answering my phone for over 6 months now, and I haven't gone back and have not heard anything negative about it. I get all the transcripts. It's been great. So if you don't love answering your phone 24/7 to answer the same questions over and over, and you could use some extra help without hiring an employee, the AI bots, the AI agents might be where it's at. So I'm going to be doing that next week. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Thanks for joining me. This is Brad Parnell, founder of Genie Rocket. This has been Rocket Fuel Weekly or Weekly Rocket Fuel, whichever you want to call it. And I will catch you guys next week.